Hi, I'm Mr. eTutor here again, your mystery tutor at mysterytutor.com, and welcome to video module 3-1. In this set of videos, we'll be discussing the SAT essay. Now, we start with the SAT essay for two reasons. First of all, it's the first question that you'll see on the test, so it seems like a good place to start for that reason. But more importantly, the SAT essay provides one of the most striking examples of how differently the College Board will do things from the way you do things in high school. The best place to start our discussion of the SAT essay is on page 105 of the College Board's official SAT study guide. As I've mentioned repeatedly throughout these videos, and as I will continue to mention over and over again, this is absolutely the only source of SAT questions you should ever consult. Don't use any books by a third party, ever. At any rate, on page 105 of this book, you will see the SAT's scoring rubric for the SAT essay. If you've ever seen a scoring rubric before, perhaps in your English class, this should look fairly similar. The scale goes from 1 through 6, with 6 being the highest score and 1 being the lowest. In the 6th column on the chart, you will see some of the attributes the College Board thinks that a top-scoring essay should have. You'll note that the top-scoring essays should have excellent grammar, should have good vocabulary, be relatively free from errors, things of that nature, which is exactly the type of thing you would expect. Then all the way at the other end of the scale, in the 1 column, you'll see pretty much the opposite of what a 6-scoring essay looks like. The College Board apparently provides this to help you figure out how you should go about writing your SAT essay. Well, let me tell you a big secret that a lot of people never pick up on. You can actually go ahead and tear out that entire page from your book. It's completely useless. The College Board does not appear to use this at all when it scores your tests. How do we know that? Well, if we look at the essays that actually receive perfect scores, you'll notice that most of them don't do most of the things that the rubric says they should be doing. And this is one of the first times that we'll see in these videos. When we look at actual SAT questions, it's always crucial to consider what the SAT is actually doing. What is it actually rewarding? And not to consider what the College Board tells you it's trying to do, or tells you the test should be rewarding. As I said, when we look at the top-scoring essays, you're going to see a huge difference between what actually scores well and what the rubric predicts should score well. But don't take my word for it. As I've said in earlier video modules, and as I'll say a million more times, whenever you hear SAT advice, the crucial thing to do is put it to the test, get out some real SAT materials, and see if the advice holds true. Well, do us both a favor. Open your copy of the official SAT study guide to page 121. The College Board has given us some sample essays so we can try to see what a good essay looks like. This was really very nice of them because honestly, if they didn't give us the essays to look at, we would never be able to tell that the scoring rubric is completely incorrect. You'll notice that the essay on page 121 got a perfect score. Among other things, the essay on page 121 incorrectly begins a sentence with the word however, uses the word which when it means that, writes all right as one word instead of two, which is also incorrect, puts an apostrophe in the present verb sees, S-E-E-S, which is completely incorrect, and ends a sentence incorrectly with the preposition to. Now, if you look at the scoring guide on page 105, or if you've ripped the guide out like you should have, go collect it from your wastebasket, you'll notice that the 6 scoring essays are supposed to be almost completely free of mechanical errors. This essay, on the other hand, is rife with mechanical errors. We want to ask ourselves, as test takers, how it can possibly be that an essay looks like this and makes a perfect score. We'll discuss why this is in future modules, but it's an important question, and I want to plant the seed now. Now turn in your copy of the College Board's official SAT study guide to page 210 for another sample essay. You'll notice that the College Board only gave this essay a score of 3 out of 6, or, on the 12-point scale, a score of 6. Now, I would argue that this essay is probably the best written one in the entire book from a strict writing perspective. It flows nicely, it seems to have good command of style. Granted, the person only uses one example, but there's nothing in the scoring guide about using multiple examples. So we have to ask ourselves, why does this essay receive a 3 when an essay that's rife with mechanical errors receives a 6? Again, we'll discuss exactly why this is in future videos, but let me give you a big hint. You'll notice that the essays that receive a 6 are almost always 2 pages long. This poor essay on page 210 is not even 1 page long. That's not all there is to the story, but it's definitely a big part of it. In future video modules, we'll discuss exactly what's missing from the essay on page 210, and exactly what the essay on page 121, and all other high-scoring SAT essays really have in common. So remember, when you write the SAT essay, it's crucial that you completely ignore the scoring guide provided by the College Board. Instead, we want to figure out what are the attributes that consistently appear in top-scoring essays. We want to learn to imitate those attributes as closely as possible as quickly as we can, and we want to do it with a minimum of effort. In future video modules, that's exactly what we'll discuss. So, thanks for watching this one. Please continue on to the next, and remember, it's easier than you think.